Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Frank and Candid. It's a Friday, TGIF as we say. Hope you had a good, productive week and all set for a weekend of some fun and frolic. This is our first weekend of the new season, which means summer is over. Alright, so hope you had a good summer. Alright, we will take a look at what's in the news. Egypt and St. Kitts and Nevis has established diplomatic relations. A communique from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the North African nation announced this on Thursday. Egyptian Foreign Minister and his counterpart of the St. Kitts and Nevis government, Mark Prattley, signed the joint statement, and the text stated so. The two officials met in New York on the sidelines of the 76th period of sessions of the United Nations General Assembly. During the meeting, the two ministers discussed some ways to initiate the bilateral relations, as well as to coordinate efforts and positions in international forums, the communique pointed out. So, Egypt and St. Kitts and Nevis has now established diplomatic relations. And as was said earlier, we are keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Sam to see what it does. Hurricane Sam, to see what it does. It's a strong one based on the information so far. And we're hoping that it keeps tacking to the north of us, but it's better to be prepared. So the word is to be prepared. So if it doesn't hit us, then great, we're prepared nonetheless, rather than to hit us and we're not. Alright, so that's a look at what's in the news. Today is Friday, and as per usual, it's an open Friday, and which means you're free to join us for conversation in whatever is on your mind. And let me just recap for the week. Monday, of course, was the Independence holiday observed. Tuesday, we talked about the whole dual citizenship and allegiance and the disqualification for service in the National Assembly. We talked about on Wednesday the whole Republic debate. After 38 years, do you see a reason or benefit to heading towards a republic, as some other countries have done and are planning to do, as in Barbados? And yesterday we discussed women and their role in our national development here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And it's Friday, so 465-2555 is the local number, and 718-577-2916 is that North American number, if that's better for you. With that, we will go to the phones right away and say happy Friday. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Nice, per usual. How are you today, sir?
I am doing well.
I just tuned in and I heard you mention about the diplomatic relations with St. Kitts and Nevis, Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
This is good. Our foreign minister continue to make strides in reconnection, diplomatic and otherwise, because once these diplomatic relations is established, other things can be have from that, like for instance, student exchange, where our students can go to that part of the world and study at the universities, and likewise.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are benefits to be derived from those diplomatic relations. There is that. But I wish to divert, because you normally chose your topics from Monday to Thursday, and I will weigh in on social, regional, and other matters. But I wish to just divert you. I also wish to say that your rating might go down today from my contribution. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
A name. Names are identity. Your name is, I call you Mr. Nias, but you would have probably had 2 other names. Because we have 3 names. Surnames, Christian names, and we have whatever, middle names. I have 3 names. And so with a name would consider to be an identity of an individual. Can you agree on that?
Okay.
Yes. And so names. How did we came about names? Some of us give our children's names because it sounds good, not really concentrating on what the meaning of that name might be. Surprising to know that some of the meanings of the names does not fit the characteristics of the individual, but we do that nevertheless. And so, but we came here with our names. It's deeper because we just didn't drop out of the sky. Everything was planned for us, and we came here with our names. In certain culture, you'll find like names are given because of what day you might have been born on or what month. For instance, Kofi Annan, the former United States Deputy General, was born on a Friday, or his name is Kofi. Kwame Nkrumah, he was born on a Saturday because his name is Kwame in that culture. So the names attach you to that. And that's how names came about in certain cultures. Well, my name is Kwame because I was born on a Saturday. I embrace that like that. But I have other names, like I was given the name Africa when I migrated to the US. And so how does that name now fit into your reality, your characteristics? Does this name speak well of who the person is? For instance, Kwame. If you will check the resume of Kwame and other names, it will say you are a likable person, you are a giving person, you have this characteristic of yourself that speaks well to what the name is and the like. What about something else I'm going to put in the mix? We say, as children, we all grew up with having a godfather or a godmother. Caretakers, persons who will overlook, see that you do good in the community and, keep you on the right, hit another path. But why use the name God? Why God? Why the word God attached to that? Because when we were born, when we were brought here, in the Christian world, in the religious world, in the Judeo-Christian Abrahamic religions, we say angel. Okay, let's use the word angel, because saying God, it sounds confusing. Oh, there is more than one God, and the like. So let's use the word angel. An angel, an entity, a deity, was responsible for you from wheresoever you left, coming from all the realms of, however we say, heaven. Coming here, make sure you are guided, and for the fact that we are being born, this is our reality. We made it. But an entity was responsible for you, navigating all of, just like how we have challenges in this life, there are also challenges on every dimension that you might have passed through right here. Because we know in the Christian Bible, and there were war in heaven. Yes, there were wars, battles were fought, not just in our realm, just like how you might go and put in an application for a job, and someone facetiously or otherwise beneath, prohibiting you from getting that job if your application was at the top. That is how the warfare and the battles has occurred throughout all of life. And that Godfather, that angel was responsible for you. No physical person can be your Godfather. Yes, there are good people in the community that will look over you, but that Godfather was responsible for your name, for the day you was born, and for eternity until you reach back to that realm, back to the oneness, because we are here on an experience. So the God concept, it came out of on the peripheral, not understanding the fullness of the person, the entity, the deity, angel that was responsible for you to be here. Is that God person, is the Godfather or your angel, and you're supposed to have a relationship with that entity. And because you were provided with everything to come here, you didn't happenstance come here and wanted to have a hard life, and so everything was provided for you. including your name, your identity, and your character. Thanks for listening. I hope your rating don't go down.
Okay. All right, let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Good day, Mr. Noyes. Mr. Noyes, you can put a call limit on some of your callers. Some of them ain't got a conscience, man. They come like they want to hug the whole show. I really can't tell you how to hug on your show, but they just a turn off. They take too long sometimes. You got to manage this thing better, Mr. Noyes. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go back to the phones. Call it in. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Greetings in the name of our great African ancestors, especially the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey and Queen Nzinga. My beloved brother, how are you or the family?
All doing well, you?
Good, man, and the clan as well. Beloved, I like to say a couple of things, beloved. I don't know if CARICOM made any statement and the inhumane, barbaric treatment that our African sisters and brothers receive. Continue to receive at the U.S.-Mexican border there in Texas, beloved. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I hear nothing come out of CARICOM. And even the envoy, the U.S. Special Envoy, I think his last name is Hill, I stand corrected, a Caucasian, resign over that atrocities took place and is still taking place. If these were Caucasian people, they'll never ever get that kind of treatment. And our people got to speak out. CARICOM. Me some sisters, I think the sister from Congress, sister from Michigan, and remember the congressional district. Another speak out. And we must speak out. Is CARICOM too afraid to speak out? They don't want to upset nobody. You know, come on, let's hear it, man, from the mountain top. Beloved, we must speak out, man. Because other things, they run them out when they're supposed to run them out, and run them out when they're supposed to get in our fears other people. These are our people, man. Our people. But then again, me and expect nothing or very little from them. God, look how they do treat our brothers and sisters from the Republic of Haiti. Now, brother, get on to this other thing. Prime Minister of St. Kitts Nevis is going to be speaking, and us advise that about to be speaking 7 p.m. tonight. You're in National Assembly, beloved. And I want to hear what he's going to speak about. None of them, very few of them, ever speak about reparations. And I've been saying this even before the Team Unity administration, the governance of St. Kitts Nevis. So Prime Minister, just like how those before and now you, every year you hear about Taiwan. You think for Taiwan to be recognized as a real country internationally. I have no problem with that. But you must dance a yard before you dance abroad, and we must stand up for our people. And the atrocities, the greatest atrocities ever been done to a group of people in civilization, in humanity and humanity. That's the transatlantic slave trade, where over 200 million of our people perished and was uprooted out of Africa. You want to tell me, I'm dealing with St. Kitts Nevis now, you can't speak about reparations? You are not brave enough? You don't care about your ancestors enough who make you what you are today? Not just you, your entire cabinet and the people of St. Kitts Nevis. Don't demand not just brother Nabo or Rascal Lungia, my brother Africa, you know what I mean, the Pan-Africanists. We need to hear more than that. beloved, and I hope this time he says something about reparations for African peoples, the Caribbean. They will just deal with the Caribbean, Mr. Prime Minister, and I hope you say something too about climate change. You want to talk about Taiwan? Up to you, but Taiwan's supposed to be at the bottom of the list. I know they give all kind of little trinkets here and there and them things, you know, money and vehicles and technology and, you know, all kind of things in the court. I know all of that. So I don't want some Negroes come and, oh, Taiwan this and Taiwan that. We all know all of that. Talking about the real issues, man. Right? And let me say from the conversation, I'm going to finish up now from yesterday. Right? We must and continue to give praises and thanks and honor to all African peoples, especially African women, beloved ancestors, and still living. That's like Queen of Santewa,
Okay.
warrior queen, Queen Amina, warrior's queen. So, brother, we must do that, and anybody who come and talk all kind of lies about our people, we must shoot them down verbally. Let me say that, verbally.
All right, let's go.
Like we say things that brother nobody won't say. Brother, thanks again for hearing me. Pan-Africanism our purse.
Let's go to the next call. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Morning, how are you?
Good morning. I'm well.
I think when people call in, they're supposed to finish and finish what they have to say. And who just only listen, they must call in too. Program for everybody. Have a good weekend.
Okay, thank you. Back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Good morning, Mr. Nias.
Good
How
morning.
are you?
I'm well.
Mr. Nias, your rating is not going to go down today. This is Johnny here. Mr. Nias, I've mentioned before, there's a global awakening. Let me repeat that. There's a global awakening with our people, black people, people of melanin, blackness in their genes. Mr. Nias, early this month we had the first ever Caribbean Summit, African Summit. And I think they discussed the pandemic, the vaccine going forward, and also the breaking down of the modalities of restriction that was prohibiting us from traveling, those of us who want to visit the mother continent. You and I no longer have to have a visa. Our skin color is our visa for whosoever want to visit the continent. Now, about the awakening. Our people, and this is global, it is happening, Mr. Nias. Sadly, you know, let me just say this shortly. The metaphor of the flood and the ark, we were told in the book that there was only 8 souls were saved in that metaphor, the flood. What is telling us today, if we don't get onto the ark, to knowledge of self, knowing who we are, there are a lot of things that is written in the book, Mr. Nias. Our people will perish for lack of knowledge. Africa, that metaphor of the ark, it also says that in the last day I will gather up my people to the land of their forefathers. Our geographical space where we are today did not begin here in St. Kitts, the Caribbean. It began on the continent of Africa. Africa is that ark, Mr. Nias, and if we are not going to get the knowledge of who we are, we will perish. Thank you for hearing me.
Okay, back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Greetings.
Greetings.
When are we going to the next chapter? How far are we reaching this book?
Take us there.
Huh?
Take us there.
Take us there. We can't get to take there because they're coming with all kind of things, and when we have our sensible things that we need to talk about, we can't get in. So we need to, you're the one in charge, and we need to go to the next chapter, and we need to say whether 5 minutes or 3 minutes, you know. Anyhow, have a good weekend.
Thank you.
And
You
let's
too.
pray.
You too. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid. Okay. What's that? Okay. All right. It's Friday. An open Friday. Whatever is on your mind, feel free to communicate that to the rest of us. Some will agree, some won't. It's 465-2555 and 718-577-2916. Lots of discussion during the week. I outlined those. Independence, Republic, women, and their role in our national development. 38 years of independence. How far have we come? Where do we go from here? We're still in that mode of celebration and observing our 38th independence. So those are what we discussed this week. But as I say, we usually have an open Friday, so you may have something else on your mind. And yes, I do agree that we should keep it tight. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome.
Yes, good morning, man. How are you?
I am well.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to hear the Prime Minister's speech later this evening. If I was him, I would definitely revise my speech to include the treatment of the Haitians at the border. He will be the first Prime Minister probably to address something of interest for the CARICOM region while he's standing on American soil. He definitely should revise that. The images that I saw this week or last week, or how long ever this been happening, very depicting of how the Europeans came and hunt us down in the continent of Africa, and all that atrocity that we went through with that transatlantic slave trade. And those images were seen again, in the last few days, cowboy and Indian style, white men on horses, stringing lassos and catching Haitians over their necks, over their heads, like as if they're animals. That's the images that I saw. I don't know what other people see. And for CARICOM to sit there, and Haiti is a part of CARICOM, and they're not speaking up, it's very ironic that the way how these Caribbean leaders are operating, bro, they're operating as if like, if it doesn't affect us, we don't care about it. But this is a regional issue that's the most current event right now on top of the table. And as Haiti being a part of CARICOM, and no one in CARICOM, none of those Caribbean leaders speaking up against this stuff, that's very out there, man. That's sickening, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it's a sticking point right now that needs to be talked about, bro. Anyway, I wish the Haitian people the best, and more callers to come in, so let me get off and let somebody else say something. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your input. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
I am well.
Thank God it's Friday. Sunny Friday. I don't know for tomorrow. Maybe it will be a wet Saturday. Yes, Mr. Nayas, I have a problem with that. I don't know the health system like you drop here and think it. Coming down there by the college, right? They have a manhole there, right? And could you believe it, they're growing a tree in it, like a tamarind tree or something like that. I'm wondering who really over the health system now. Going around the corner to go to the college gate again, there was a nice drain system there ever so long since I know, because I used to live there at one time. That and all full of grass already going on in our country. Our drainage system is very terrible. Up in your town there, past you there the other day on a bus going to the country. And Pan Road there, oh my gosh, the thing smells so terrible. What happened? These people don't do the government work. I got to ask the guy last night, what happened? I don't see up here no cleaning. Up in the new Buckley's project. But today he gonna go for his money. I made to understand weeks now he ain't work. And so they have what they call them people over them and so. Supervisor and everything over them. What is really going on? Our health system dropped bad, Mr. Nayas. I don't really know what health to buy. Think germs gonna kill us, you know, they're talking about corona. It will look like one of these days, after that gone, we get a bigger one. Bigger system, because I don't really know what. Tell them go to the government work and do not stretch out their hand to them for the money, but the money drop out there when they coming out the bank. You have a good afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah?
All right. Okay. Let's take the next call. Good morning. Welcome. Your live caller. Go ahead. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Tony.
Good morning.
Yeah, Tony. This morning I just want to commend a young lady I met on a passenger bus was coming into town. She said she was going to shop by the night market, and I just want to commend her. Because these are people who look out for the country and a real entrepreneur and a real patriot to the country. Now, she said she's going to the market to support the local vendors. And now she had a discussion. And you know, look how the school may close. She said that she saw with them people that the children are going to school. And you know, some of them cannot provide for the children them. But she said praying that she should provide 4 lunches for school. And she can provide 50 lunches, I think, for the virtual primary school. And that is so good to that young lady. She said she's from Canary, but she living in Old. And these are the people that we recognize that who look out for the country and put politics aside and put total ignorance aside and stop command and just try to bring down the country because of the political whatever. You understand? Just talk and nothing to back it. And I myself give an early contribution to, because you know I always says that I put politics aside for my people, especially my people who I see suffering and want a handout. You understand? I will look out for them anytime, any day. Brother Tony. And this is the thing that we got to just do. Just stop coming and talk and look concerned about your people. Your own people is your own. Because these are the young people, these are the future prime minister, the future doctors, the future nurses, and the future whatever. We got to look out for our people. Okay, Brother Tony, have a wonderful day. God bless.
Okay.
And I want to say condolences to a good friend of mine who lose her sister-in-law. I want to wish her all the best, just with the family. Brother Tony, may God bless you, brother.
Okay. Back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to Family.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I think its people is just special. You see a TV party is supposed to be, you can't pull it up. What do are we? We calling for the ear for that? We just special in a special way.
That it? Okay. All right. We welcome that too. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Hello, Mr. Nyers. This is Major.
Yes, Major.
Mr. Nyers, man, this seems as though you got to raise the standard, man. Some of the things that I hear is that people complaining. Where be a police? Okay, anyhow, I'm still back on the same thing. I remember I spoke about the begging. You remember I spoke about that, didn't it?
Yes, yes.
What I find out, I mean, I don't know, it is said that Bradshaw is supposed to be the father of independence. And from what I seen and I read, is Bradshaw had hate begging. He would hate begging because he sees as though that he had problems already with the British government, and so he wants us to be not the dependency on these people here. So he decided, boy, let me stop begging. He taught us a lesson about this dependency, as I told you about, and he also taught about the intention of we living. He taught us about the intention of we living. So therefore, let me get things out of here, because somebody must even using the reference just a while ago, speaking about Taiwan. I mean, Taiwan helping us, but we begging them all the time. We begging them, they want something from us, and we have to give them. But they come with us, so we have to stop being beggars, man. And that is what Bradshaw hated. I too hate begging. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Yeah, good morning. Nice.
Good morning.
Yeah, let me ask you a question first. I would like to know what happened to the pastors them in St. Kitts, because if it's only the sound of praise people they have in St. Kitts, I am not hearing the West pastors them at all coming and saying nothing and trying to rebuke the pandemic at all in the name of Jesus or nothing. I'm not hearing them. What happened? They are false prophets or something. They're afraid to come out and talk. Continue to pray for that. Mr. Naya, I think it's a blessed country. I don't know if you remember back in the days, we always get blessings. We had blessings in the days when we had sour flour and mackerel. People used to eat and be happy. We had blessings when the sugar factory used to give them little bonuses and them kind of thing, what they call back then what they call it again. You know, a lot of money used to swing in and so goat water. Everybody used to be happy and them kind of thing. All them, they were blessings on our country. Everybody used to be eating happy. Everybody, family, labor, everybody was together in them days and happy. I don't know what happening right now. Things just gone bad. And it look like it's just the politicians them just dividing our people more and more. Because back in them days, things used to be good. We always had blessings. Jah always bless our countrymen. I could recall one time a hurricane came to St. Kitts and two badges knocked shore. One went Newton, one went down, one McKnight, round the fort. People had big snout and thing in the house for days.
All blessings, huh?
All that is blessings.
Okay. Okay.
So we always have blessings.
Okay.
The factory, all the men back in them days had a lot of rally bike and them kind of thing. You see them coming down and saw them old men and thing. All them was blessings. Mm-hmm. The sweet potato, them were used to go in the field and the nuts them. Some of them used to be big and sweet. Them there was blessings. Okay. We have fertile soil.
Alright, gotcha.
I don't know what happening right now. The preachers them need to come out. Spread out the prayer, spread it out.
Spread it out, okay.
And cause the pandemic and rebuke it in the name of the Most High.
Gotcha.
That's what they need to do when hearing them.
Yeah. Alright. My grandmother used to say everything is a blessing, so I guess that is still true. Got a caller? Good morning, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Naya.
Yes.
Could you hear me?
Sure.
That's why the place can stink and dirty, because when you see something and people who get in pain and you have to talk, people are coming and talk foolishness. Suppose I want to talk about McKnight, they're going to come in my throat too. See you.
Okay. All right. Good morning, welcome.
Mr. Naya.
Yes.
You're picking up from a lecture, blessing. Why was the damage with the bad? That's blessing too?
Everything is a blessing.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well,
got me cracking up.
Caller talk about the I remember the sour flour and mackerel. The only thing is that I believe it was a blessing, but that blessing used to come only on election time, I believe. But still blessing anyway. Go ahead.
No, you're talking about the pastor. If they hear, they could come and say anything, and if they really like it, you're going to hear them, yeah. Why didn't he know that?
Okay, I don't know.
Okay, that's okay, man.
You're better positioned to tell me that.
Right.
Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Got a caller? Nah, gone? All right. Hey, it's Friday. It's an open Friday. We're all over the place, but that's what Friday is about here. Just keep it clean. Say what you have to say. Everybody won't agree, and we don't really want everybody to agree anyway. Because we're not we are people with intelligent minds, and we have different take on whatever the issue may be. So that's fine. That's healthy. Some people may not like the topics that you choose to take. Go down the roads you decide to go on this Friday, but that's okay. What we'll do, we'll take a break, and when we come back, we will continue our Open Friday right here on Frank and Candid.
Summer is ending, but the deals are just beginning with the Court's end of summer sale. Get up to 50% off your favorite items, to include patio furnishings, pools, coolers, TVs, mattresses, and more. Plus, shop today with a ready finance and pay nothing for 60 days. Take advantage of these sizzling summer deals for a limited time only. Shop in store and online at shopcourts.com. Conditions apply. Courts, bringing value home.
All right. Welcome back to Frank and Candid, and we are heading to the top of the hour on this good-looking Friday. Remember, we are keeping our eyes out in the Atlantic. Things look like we may be spared, but we can't say that for sure at this moment. And the advice is, as always, to prepare. That hurricane is, of last update, a strong one. I think they were talking about Category 4. That's pretty strong. So we're hoping that it doesn't hit us, and that would be a blessing, right? The track looks like it's heading someplace else. But we're keeping an eye on that on this Friday. That's a couple of days out still, but we just need to be prepared. Back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid. Caller, you there? You're live. Okay. We lost that caller. Let's try another one. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Yeah, but it's only, yes. I agree with that caller who said that the pastors then is not really coming out, and I believe that during a pandemic, and they're supposed to come out and have some kind of open ear around the country, all over. Not just in the church alone. Come out and meet the people, and many people never going on. You understand? The church are the most. The church is supposed to be highly respectable in any country. The churches. We ain't hearing much. Some church, only from the man show a man in the Sounds of Praise program. You might hear Jagadi.
We're calling it. Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you pray?
Brother Tony, every day I pray. I do have many more my prayer. Right, this and that.
And you believe?
Tony, I just pray. I can come in, Brother Tony, and I just pray, sing, and tell you in my room. I do that every day, almost every day, Brother Tony.
And you believe in prayer? You believe in prayer?
I believe in prayer. I believe prayer will work.
Why you need a church?
I believe if it work for me,
why you need a pastor?
It can work for anybody else. Because let me tell you something. I am not a very scholar child in school.
Why you need a pastor?
And God and my brilliant common sense to give me got me to be what I be right now.
Yeah. So why you need a pastor?
Better than many.
Now listening to me. Why do you need a pastor?
Education.
Okay.
So now, I want to talk about something else. Now,
okay, go ahead.
Now that in a real serious pandemic, and people is coming out and saying kind of negative things. The government don't show everybody. I tell you right now, I just meet a taxi man.
Yes.
And the taxi man come and tell me that we must call in and ask when the government going to pay the taxi man money. But I tell me, do the government employ taxi drivers? The government don't employ taxi drivers. the government then got to do what they got to do to the stimulus package to the social security. So I want to know what ignorance, and I want to know what these taxi drivers was doing with the money when they was working, making the money when the crop was on. That's why they always say for there. My mother always tell me that. You understand? And I better tell me that somebody's got a break.
Okay, make sure you pray today though. Alright, let's go back to the phones. Good morning, welcome. Caller, you like, go ahead. Caller, you got a feedback there. Turn down your equipment. Okay, let's take the next call. Let's get that off the air. Welcome to Frank and Candid. Okay. Call us back. You have to make sure you turn down your equipment. Okay. Callers, when you call, please turn down your equipment. It won't work properly here. The feedback is not good. Let's welcome to Frank and Candid. Caller, you live. Go ahead. Okay. All right. I think we're getting through with those calls. So we got a caller there. Okay. All right. Just when you call, try and turn your equipment down or off. Listen to the phone, not the radio or the computer or whatever it is. Will give us a terrible feedback. Let's try this one. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Good morning, Mr. Knight.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
My issue is with the United Nations. Around this time of year, many nations gather in New York to vent, essentially. Mm-hmm. This year, I think the focus is supposedly on climate change and on COVID. Mm-hmm. No surprise there, given the events of the past year. My concern is, though, that the organization has become just a talk shop, where people make flowery speeches, then go home to their respective countries and left to their own devices. Okay? I am not sure how issues that they vent at the General Assembly, how these issues are escalated to the Security Council and get the attention of what they call the P5, the permanent members. Mm-hmm. Because that's where the real clout lies, the real power is. Mm. They can enforce whatever resolutions and so on are made. I think the organization needs reforming so that it is more democratic and is not so reliant on the money from the U.S. I think they in particular pay a huge share of the cost of running the organization. Okay, and they tend to use that as a big stick on the rest of the world, okay? And people, and only those that have nuclear weapons and big economic clout seem to be listened to, okay? And talking about talk shop, I think it's high time that we do something about Haiti. CARICOM, that is. I mean, we keep saying we're sorry for Haiti in this condescending way, not realizing that the treatment of the Haitians is reflective of how the world sees us. We think it's a Haiti problem, when in fact it's primarily a racial thing. And they look at black people generally in the same light. Okay? And so we may stay down here feeling superior because we don't have the problems that Haiti have. But to the rest of the world, we're just as bad. Okay? And until we can show that we are capable of managing ourselves without the corruption and the bad governance and have a principled foreign policy, none of us will be respected. Okay? When push comes to shove, we're going to be told to go to the back of the line or sit down and shut up. You're in my sphere of influence, so just behave yourself. Okay? And until I don't think the leaders in the Caribbean, and it's not just the leaders, the general populace does not they do not make the connection between what is happening in Haiti and what is happening in the rest of the world. Okay? And that, I think, leads to actually your issue for yesterday about women leaders. I mean, we all can attest to good women leaders of the past. Okay? Some of them were bad as well. If you remember, I think it was Bhutto, her name was, of Pakistan, who was corrupt to the core. So I don't think that leadership should be about gender, to be quite honest. We want the best person to lead us, male or female. Okay? And this is not one of those things that lend itself to affirmative action or what they call it. What they call the other thing?
We're talking about quotas?
Quotas. Quotas. Right? I don't think we should be using those strictures here. Right? I think all the female leaders that we have had went through the throes of having to overcome the same things that the males had and more. And so one thing about all of them, they had to be exceptional, right? And I think that's part of getting qualified, if you want to call it, for leadership, right? The caliber and quality comes from the hard work and overcoming all the difficulties that they would have faced. All right? And so a lot too depends on what the perception of the populace is about what a leader should be. Right? You know, and that does not include that there should be a man or a woman, I don't think. Okay?
All right.
So, you know, I think that just leave it up to the population, have high standards, let them get to a place where they have high standards of leadership, well defined, and then, you know, the women will come forward. You know, the best person will come forward, put it that way.
All right. Thank you. All right. Okay. Well, that's a debate that will continue as to, well, I am not into the quota business either, but some people declare that they are when it comes to certain things, and some people declare that they are in support of affirmative action. But I think they are, well, a little different, but the debate continues. Back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Nice morning.
Yes, good morning.
My contribution this morning, what I would like to happen with ZIZ, I think the television station, I think they need to step it up a little bit more in terms of the quality of, you know, the program, and sometimes there's too much of a delay. Like, for instance, if they gotta bring on the news like 1 o'clock, you know, you find the news would start like 5 past. You know, you understand what I mean? This is something I think they need to really work on. You're supposed to be ready. You know you have a newscast coming up at 12. From the time the button hits 12, you're supposed to be on spot, you know. Person reading the news and everything, advertisements, everything's supposed to be in place. So, you know, there must be too much a delay in some of the, I'm not saying all, in some of the program on the ZIZ television. You know, I think, you know, it is something I think they need to work on. They need to improve on it. And if a program is lasting an hour, when that program finishes from 12 to 1, at 1 o'clock you're supposed to be in line that, you know, you're playing one set of instrumental music or music, and a 5 minutes delay, a 7 minutes delay, a 8 minutes delay, and then you find the program start at 10 past, or they need to cut that out. They need to cut that out.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want trying out Mr. Politics, please call me. Mr. Boy, I'm trying to get you all morning, but you're not answering your phone. Please call me Mr. Politics. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Nice. Thank you very much for your time.
I believe he is praying at the moment, so we'll see. We got a caller there? Let's take this call. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Good morning, Mr. Nice.
Good morning.
Good morning to your listeners on radio and internet. I just want to touch something there, basically, what I was outlined for National Heroes celebration.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that some of the callers was indicating that it's time now we get heroines to pursue as women in being acknowledged as national heroes. And I would like to suggest that in the aspect of a woman being as a national hero, Betta Douglas, who have able to fight against the colonial powers during her time in slavery. So we can see the significance that she has strived to engage against these colonial times. And we people must be able to see the history that she has been able to change in the stand for her rights to be free as a black woman during the slavery time. Because I realize now for these history school the classes that we see engaged to the school children, we don't see these things labeled to our children. Because of what we see in the pursuing of what they are assessed in the educational structure. As I say, there is a curriculum, and we realize these curriculum don't emphasize these things that to bring a change in the aspect of how our people have been enslaved during the colonial powers and put this time in the 24th century. So I would like to put a suggestion, and this is not to conclude in saying that she don't deserve it. She really deserves it, because when we watch at how the time during the slave masters' empowerment, there was time that we had to face some humiliation, and what she had to go through, it wasn't easy. So it's time now we see these kind of emphasis start being out, so people can understand the suffering they had to face. So the freedom that they have today, they can really say, oh, it's not more than this. They can really look back and say, we have to go and say thank for those people before us, so we can be thankful for what we're seeing here today in the 24th century. Betta Douglas was a great martyr in the fight for freedom. And we realize that we're seeing politicians getting honored, and they deserve it, because none of them really stand up for the cause of how Betta Douglas stand up for the cause. So I'll have a safe day.
Okay. Thank you for that input. All right. Got a few minutes left. We may be able to get in another 2 calls or so on this Friday before we head to the weekend. Hope you're looking forward to the weekend for relaxation, get away from the hustles and the bustles of the week, and we had quite a few holidays over the past 2 weeks, right? Lots of activity between CPL and Independence Celebration and Culturama and all of that. It was a hectic past 3 weeks or so, and it's kind of just calming down here now, and hope it's not the calm before the storm. Again, can't say it enough. Let's prepare for what's to come next week, if it comes our way. The hurricane that's in the Atlantic. We're hoping it doesn't come our way, but we can't emphasize enough how important it is to be prepared nonetheless. So this weekend, as you go out and having some fun and everything else, take a look around, see that you have the stuff that you need to prepare, just in case. If you're prepared, if you have all the stuff and it doesn't come, you still have them. If you have food and it doesn't come, you can still eat it. And other stuff you can still use. But it will be sad if you don't have it, not prepared, and it comes. So, don't know how much more we can say that when it comes to this time of year. We are at around this time of year, We are more at the peak levels of these storms. So it's not over till it's over. The official period takes us down to the end of November. So anything could happen, and it's even possible to get them in December. So let's not let our guard down, and let's keep paying attention to the news, weather reports, just to make sure we are fully informed and get prepared. All right. 465-2555, 718-577-2916. Okay, we lost that caller. We are able to take maybe one more call before we leave. We got a caller there. We will take that call and say good morning. Welcome.
Hey, good afternoon. Good morning, Mr. Mike.
Good morning.
Yeah, I don't like the way they treated the sportsman them here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People who pay, who do so much for my country. People like Keith Kayamba Gums, Elvis Pepper Isaac, Professor Sergeant. It bounce. All those men who pay, who do so much for my country, man. I think the government should treat them much better. I think they should even give them even land. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead.
I think they should have given these men who do so much, man. But even travel the wine. But when you're bringing people here from overseas, you're going music festival, this jump up thing. I wasn't posting in favor of the music festival. I think, right, they should pump more money into sports.
Okay.
Like sports cricket tournament, like even like a 4-day. Just like we got a music festival, revamp the music festival, hold a cricket tournament, a 4-day.
Mm-hmm.
Like between St. Kitts and Nevis.
Okay.
The MVP, the man who scored the most runs, you get like $8,000, and who take most, you get like $7,000. The most valuable player, you get X amount of money.
Okay.
That's something they need to do, pump money into sports.
Okay.
And revamp this music festival.
Gotcha.
Because I was in one here, some time ago, they was saying, Buju Banton came here, and somebody was saying, I don't know how true it is. They were saying he want $300,000 before he came here. He ain't this old $300,000.
Okay, that sound you hear tells me I gotta go. We're up against the clock. News at the top. Thank you all for joining me this week for Frank and Candid. Hope you have a great weekend. I'm Tony Nias, and we will talk again on Monday right here on Frank and Candid.
Well, it's just about 2 minutes on the upside of noon. You've been listening to Frank and Candid. Join us again on Monday morning at 11 for another presentation of Frank and Candid with Tony Nias. A blessed morning coming up at the top of the hour. The midday news sponsored by Amerijet and KFC. That's